Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're covering one of the most heartbreaking stories in sports, a tragedy that shook the football world to its core and left millions of fans asking the same devastating question: could this have been prevented? We're talking about the sudden death of Liverpool forward Diogo Jota at just 27 years old. But this isn't just another tragic sports story. What I'm about to share with you involves cryptic final messages, ignored warning signs, and a series of events that now seem like desperate cries for help that nobody heard. The more we dig into what happened in those final weeks, the more chilling this story becomes. So grab your tissues, because this one's going to hit different. Picture this: it's a quiet Tuesday evening in Liverpool when suddenly, the world stops. Breaking news flashes across every screen, every phone, every social media feed. Liverpool star Diogo Jota confirmed dead at 27. No warning. No explanation. Just silence, then shockwaves that rippled through the entire football universe. But here's what makes this story even more haunting: just 48 hours earlier, Jota was laughing with his teammates during a media shoot, joking about a missed penalty in training. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. Or did they? The initial reports were vague and unsettling. Some outlets cited a medical emergency. Others suggested an earlier collapse during a private workout session. Emergency services arrived within minutes, but it was too late. Diogo Jota was pronounced dead at his Liverpool home. Liverpool's official statement was heartbreakingly brief: "We are devastated to confirm the passing of our beloved teammate, Diogo. The thoughts of everyone at the club are with his family, friends and supporters around the world." But here's where things get mysterious: no cause of death was confirmed in that initial release. And for fans, that silence quickly turned into unease. To understand why this loss hit so hard, we need to talk about who Diogo Jota was. Born December 4, 1996, in the small Portuguese town of Massarelos, he was never the kid who demanded attention. But when his feet touched the ball, something magical happened. His rise through the youth ranks was meteoric, from Gondomar to Paços de Ferreira, then to FC Porto. By the time he reached Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League, fans were already buzzing about this explosive young talent with keen positioning and an uncanny ability to find space where none existed. Then came September 2020, the call that would change his life forever. Liverpool, under Jurgen Klopp's leadership. Jota didn't just join the Reds, he became their heartbeat. Within weeks, he was scoring in the Champions League, the Premier League, and domestic competitions. But it wasn't just his talent that made fans fall in love with him. It was his character. Humble, never flaunting his fame, always crediting his teammates and keeping his family at the center of his world. Off the pitch, he was a gamer, a quiet thinker, and a proud father building his legacy brick by brick. By 2023, Diogo Jota had earned over 30 caps for Portugal, scored crucial Champions League goals, and was widely considered one of Europe's most underappreciated stars. Everything seemed to be aligning perfectly. And then, in a matter of hours, that bright future turned into a global tragedy. Now here's where this story takes a chilling turn. As details emerged after his death, a disturbing pattern began to surface. A close friend revealed that Jota had complained of dizziness and fatigue the week before his death. Though he reportedly passed medical checks, insiders now suggest his symptoms may not have been taken seriously enough. One of his closest childhood friends, speaking anonymously, revealed that in the weeks before his passing, Jota had expressed concerns about recurring symptoms: chest tightness, unusual fatigue, and shortness of breath. He reportedly said, "I've never felt like this before. It's like my body is slowing down even when I'm doing everything right." These words are now haunting. Though Jota passed all club health screenings and was cleared to return to full training after a minor hamstring injury, insiders claim he had quietly requested additional medical evaluations, which were either delayed or deprioritized due to his quick performance rebound. A physiotherapist close to the club said, "He was a warrior. He never wanted to sit out unless he absolutely had to." But there were signs, things that now, in hindsight, feel like red flags. Those signs were subtle but disturbing. Jota was seen taking longer to recover during drills, he was more reserved in the locker room, and he even skipped optional training sessions, something he rarely ever did. One teammate described his demeanor in the last 2 weeks as focused but tired, like he had something on his mind. More shockingly, reports from Portugal suggest Jota had booked a private medical appointment for the week following his death. The purpose remains unknown, but some believe it may have involved cardiological tests. Even more unsettling were his recent social media patterns. Though never overly active online, Jota had shared several cryptic messages in the weeks prior to his death that now read like goodbye letters. In one Instagram story, he posted a photo of his boots with the caption, "Whatever happens, I gave it everything." In another post, a quiet selfie in Liverpool's locker room, he simply wrote, "No regrets, just memories." At the time, fans took it as poetic footballer talk. Now it feels eerily like a farewell. Adding to the emotional complexity is what family members have chosen not to say. His wife, often seen cheering him on from the stands, has yet to speak publicly. Neither have his parents. While that silence is understandable in grief, some feel it points to something deeper, a private battle kept tightly guarded, even from the public eye. Here's where it gets even more mysterious. Jota reportedly gave away signed jerseys the week before his death to longtime staff at the training ground. One was personalized with the message, "Thank you for everything. Never stop believing." A simple gesture, or one final act of gratitude from a man who knew his time was limited. The football world responded with an outpouring of emotion that was unlike anything we'd seen in recent years. Cristiano Ronaldo, Jota's former Portugal teammate, posted a simple but heartbreaking message, "My heart is broken. Rest in peace, little brother. You gave us so much." Liverpool's training ground was immediately closed. Matches were postponed, and Klopp, usually outspoken, declined media briefings, reportedly overcome with emotion. But as tributes poured in, the silence surrounding the true cause of Jota's death only deepened. Former Liverpool physiotherapist Steve Bradley tweeted something that sent shivers down everyone's spine, "These boys are pushed to the edge every week. There's no room for error, no time to rest. The question isn't how he died. It's why no one saw it coming." Social media exploded with tributes, but also with questions. Fans were demanding answers. Justice for Jota began trending worldwide as people questioned whether enough was being done to protect players' health. The city of Liverpool stood still. Flags at Anfield flew at half-mast. Murals were covered in black cloth, and outside the stadium gates, a river of red scarves, candles, and handwritten notes flowed endlessly. On a grey, quiet morning, the funeral procession began, slow, somber, and almost surreal. Thousands lined the sidewalks in complete silence, many holding framed photos of Jota in his Liverpool kit, his smile forever frozen in time. Young fans wept openly while older supporters simply stood with bowed heads, holding scarves over their hearts. It was the kind of grief that transcends football rivalries and reminds you that sports are about human connection. Inside the cathedral, the atmosphere was devastating. Jurgen Klopp arrived pale and grief-stricken, walking arm in arm with assistant manager Pep Lijnders. Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Virgil van Dijk entered wearing black suits, red armbands, and faces hardened by heartbreak. But it was Alisson Becker who broke down first. As the service began and Jota's image appeared on the memorial screen, Alisson wept uncontrollably, his shoulders shaking as teammates supported him. It was the kind of grief that words cannot capture, only felt. The altar was draped in Liverpool red, and alongside the casket lay 3 powerful items: Jota's well-worn boots, his Portugal jersey from the Euros, and a photo of him cradling his newborn son. A letter from his wife, read aloud through a trembling voice, brought the room to silence. "You gave us joy in ways the world will never fully understand. You played not just for trophies, but for love, for your family, for your team, for the people. Our hearts are shattered, but your light will never dim. As the funeral came to a close, something magical happened. A lone voice began singing, "You'll Never Walk Alone." Within seconds, the entire crowd, fans, players, priests, and strangers, joined in unison. It was no longer just a song. It was a promise, a message to Jota that he would never be forgotten. But even in mourning, the questions continued. Why haven't authorities released a full medical report? Why are some insiders claiming that Jota knew something was wrong? Was there internal pressure to keep playing even as his body showed signs of breaking down? The truth is, we may never know the complete story of what happened to Diogo Jota. But what we do know is that his death has exposed uncomfortable truths about modern football, the relentless pressure, the physical demands, and perhaps most importantly, the culture that sometimes prioritizes performance over players' well-being. Medical experts have pointed out that sudden cardiac events in young athletes, while rare, are not unheard of. But the pattern of symptoms Jota reportedly experienced, the fatigue, the chest tightness, the unusual recovery times, these are exactly the kind of warning signs that should trigger immediate and comprehensive medical evaluation. Some are calling for mandatory cardiac screening for all professional athletes. Others are pushing for better mental health support and a culture where players feel safe speaking up about physical concerns without fear of losing their spot on the team. Jota's legacy isn't just the goals he scored or the trophies he won. It's the wake-up call he's given us about protecting the athletes we love to watch. His story reminds us that behind every jersey number, every highlight reel, and every celebration, there's a human being with fears, dreams, and vulnerabilities just like the rest of us. And sometimes, just sometimes, they need us to listen when they're trying to tell us something's wrong. In the weeks following his death, Liverpool has announced new medical protocols. Portugal's national team has implemented additional cardiac screening for all players. The Premier League is reviewing its health and safety standards. But for many, these changes feel like they came too late for Diogo Jota. His story has become a rallying cry for player safety, a reminder that no goal, no trophy, no victory is worth a human life. Players across Europe have started speaking more openly about their health concerns, and clubs are beginning to take these conversations more seriously. The death of Diogo Jota at just 27 years old remains one of football's most heartbreaking mysteries. Whether it was an undiagnosed condition, the cumulative effects of years of intense physical demands, or something else entirely, we may never know for certain. What we do know is that the warning signs were there. The fatigue, the cryptic messages, the requests for additional medical evaluation, they all paint a picture of a young man who may have been trying to tell us something was wrong. His final social media post, just days before his death, showed him with his son, with the simple caption, "Everything I do is for you." It's a reminder that behind every athlete is a person with loved ones, dreams, and a life that extends far beyond the pitch. The football world will never be the same without Diogo Jota. But if his tragic death can prevent even one similar loss, if it can push the sport to better protect its players, then perhaps his legacy will be about more than just the beautiful game he played with such passion. Rest in peace, Diogo. You gave us everything, and we'll never forget. That's the heartbreaking story of Diogo Jota, a reminder that our sports heroes are human too, and sometimes they need us to listen when they're asking for help. What are your thoughts on player safety in modern football? Should there be stricter medical protocols? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity news and sports stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.